curious as a fashion blogger how you think fashion influences all of this. So we were looking back at some pictures in Iran and how cosmopolitan some of the major cities were back before 1979, the revolution. I think we have some of those pictures here. Do you think you would like to see Iran go back to that before women were wearing hijabs, or would you like to be meeting somewhere in the middle?
Yeah, I think these photos being seen out of context is always really decontextualizing what actually was taking place in the country. So the people who dressed in the sort of Western dress that we're seeing now are actually a very minority group of people. They were upper class people. So if you wore a hijab, there's actually a period of mandatory unveiling where someone could actually pull the hijab off of you. So it was an incredibly violent time and very intolerant. But we kind of see these images of it as nostalgia of like, oh, we want to go back to this time, but we have to understand that this isn't actually how the majority of Iranians lived. So actually images of like mini skirts of Afghanistani women were shown to Trump earlier this month as an excuse for why the U.S. should keep troops on the ground, because, oh, we should like go back to the time where Muslim women or Afghan women were wearing mini skirts. But we don't understand that if we look at education levels, you know, like education of women in Iran right now greatly exceeds what it was back during this time where women were wearing miniskirts. So if we want to talk about women's rights, let's talk about more like their social economic status rather than just what they're wearing.
Let's talk about nuclear weapons.
Okay.
Our viewers, some of our viewers may say, we cannot trust Iran. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I don't think we can trust this country. I mean, what has this country done to the majority of the countries in the Middle East? You know, like, I don't think Iran's having nuclear weapons. I'm a pacifist. I don't believe in violence. But also, when we look at the legacy of imperialism and colonization in the Middle East, and we see the legacy of this country and all of the violence that it has not only created, but also created the capacity for. A lot of these weapons in the Middle East are completely brought in by the United States.
A lot of Americans might take offense to that. You're an American. You don't sound like an American when you say it, you know what I mean?
That's because I've read, you know, and I think that it's really important that we look beyond sort of these really simple narratives that we're told, whether it's about Muslim women, whether it's about the legacy of this country, and knowing that this country literally was built on the backs of black slaves and after the genocide of indigenous people. And I think there's a lot that we can be proud about, but I think that we shouldn't let that sort of blindside us for the realities of the situation.